What's up, guys? It is I, once again, Yusuf Al Saned, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Monday series created by Emily Boone. She's a really awesome YouTuber and one I'm proud to call my friend, my dear beloved friend. Please check her channel out. The link for her channel is down below in the description box. It's not often I produce an episode of the Movie Monday series unless the topic of the week interests me, and this week's topic definitely has my interest, that being the best movies I have seen or my favorite movies from the 1960s. And just like the previous episodes of the Movie Monday series, I'm going to be ranking the movies I've chosen as my favorite movies from the 1960s according to a ranking system from number 5 to number 1, and here's how the list goes. At number 5 we have Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Sergio Leone has produced 3 films in the Dollar Trilogy, his very popular Dollar Trilogy, each of which was released in the 1960s, and the first film in the series, A Fistful of Dollars, was actually inspired by Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. I'll get to that real soon, I promise you guys and gals that. The Dollar Trilogy is a series I love so much. It's among my top 5 favorite series in cinema. I love the series and our introduction to Clint Eastwood, who plays the man with no name, a silent protagonist, the quintessential silent protagonist who wanders from place to place in the Old West, taking on bounties, hunting his target, making money out of them. And each film chronicles the story of the man with no name. He's referred to by different names across all 3 films. In The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, he's referred to as Blondie, and he encounters 2 people, that being Angel Eyes, played by the legendary Lee Van Cleef, and of course you have Tuco, played by the always awesome and also legendary Eli Wallach, who is so fantastic in his role as Tuco, despite the fact he was in his 50s when they were filming this movie, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and all 3 of them are hunting down this gold, which they desperately want. Tuco and Blondie have no choice but to work with each other if they wish to take down Angel Eyes and to get the gold, but Tuco and Blondie are forced to work together because Tuco and Blondie don't like each other one bit. Tuco in particular, despite how scummy of a person he can be, we do sympathize with him in some shape or form. We do kind of sympathize with Tuco and how hard he works to get that gold, the gold that he, Blondie and Angel Eyes are fighting for. And Clint Eastwood, despite the fact that I don't like him as a person or his political views, I do respect him and love him as a director and actor, and he is great as always as the man with no name. And Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is without question my favorite of his work. At number 4 we have Stanley Kubrick's Spartacus. Spartacus is one of the very few epic films from the 1960s as well as the 1950s, which includes such epic films like Lawrence of Arabia, The 10 Commandments, Exodus, Ben-Hur, and so many other films of that genre, the epic film genre. And Spartacus is my favorite because I love the character of Spartacus himself, a character based on the real life story and escapade of Spartacus, a man who goes from being a Roman general to being a slave who becomes a gladiator, and a gladiator who would eventually become a hero to Rome, or rather a hero to all Europe and all those who are being oppressed by the Roman Empire. He brings hope, inspiration, and a new fighting spirit within everyone who opposes the Roman Empire, the Republic. Spartacus embodies that true hero who inspires hope and strength in others, and he is played so fantastically well by Kirk Douglas. I love Kirk Douglas and Stanley Kubrick's Paths of Glory. Even though Kirk Douglas and Stanley Kubrick did not get along in either The Paths of Glory or Spartacus, their work together on both movies are so good, and you can understand why Kirk Douglas had a very strained working relationship with Stanley Kubrick, because many other actors, including Shelley Duvall on The Shining and George C. Scott on Dr. Strangelove, Malcolm McDowell on A Clockwork Orange, they've all had issues dealing with Stanley Kubrick. And Stanley Kubrick, to be honest, can be quite of a prick on set when making these movies. I do not like that kind of man who treats his actors so unfairly like that and treats them like they're nothing. As an auteur director, however, I do respect Stanley Kubrick to a degree, and Spartacus is without question one of my favorite movies he has produced. It's not his best work, but it is one I do enjoy very much, and Spartacus is such a fantastic character, a great hero, and his journey to becoming said hero is one of the most inspiring stories I've seen on screen. At number 3, we have Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch. The Wild Bunch is one of many westerns from the 1960s. I love the Old West setting. I love the western genre. Everything about the western genre is just so awesome. I have 3 favorite genres in movies. They are dramas, horror, definitely horror, and western. I love all 3 of them so much. There are people who wish to be a pirate. For me, I wish to be a cowboy, baby. Yeah! Anyway, Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch is considered to be his masterpiece. It's hailed by many as his best work, and I can't help but agree with them because I love The Wild Bunch and the gang themselves who refer to themselves as The Bunch or The Wild Bunch. They include William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, and you also have Warren Oates and Ben Johnson, and you have 2 other actors who play the last members of The Wild Bunch. They include this young Hispanic man named Angel, and this older guy, the elder one of the bunch. He is Freddie Sykes. Each of them play their respective roles so well, and William Holden as the leader of the Wild Bunch is so amazing. I love William Holden. I have the biggest crush on William Holden. I heart William Holden, baby. So many twists and turns happen leading to the finale, which is absolutely fantastic, guys. This finale is just so bloody. It's so violent as hell. It is such an amazing finale in the way it builds and builds until finally it explodes. It's one of those finales I will never forget in movies, no matter the genre. At number 2, we have George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead was directed by George A. Romero, who reinvented the zombie genre and has brought new life and new meaning to the zombie creatures, which has now become a part of our pop culture. There are definitely people who aren't fans of the zombie genre, but the zombie genre, whether we like it or not, has exploded in the media and it's become a part of our culture and how we are entertained by these zombie creatures eating people. It all started with George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. When I got up this morning looking in the internet, having my coffee, I just discovered that George A. Romero, a few hours ago, it was announced that he had passed away at the age of 77. Before I had read the news on CNN and the Los Angeles Times on the internet, George A. Romero's death came to me because of a post on Instagram, a post from one of my dear friends who is a huge fan of the survival horror video game series Resident Evil. My dear friend was heartbroken by the death of George A. Romero, and I had no clue he would die on this specific day. Without George A. Romero, zombies wouldn't be the way they are right now. We have shows like The Walking Dead, we have games like Resident Evil, the Dead Rising video game series on the Xbox and PlayStation. We would not have any of these without George A. Romero because, like I said before, he brought new life, new energy, and he brought new meaning to the zombie genre. He incorporated a strong social commentary on these zombies. The social commentary in the zombie films produced by George A. Romero has become a huge reason why those movies were beloved and successful in the eyes of many, most definitely the zombie fans like yours truly. And the zombie genre isn't for everyone. There are those who love it, those who hate it, and those who just think meh. And honestly, guys, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I do understand why some people would view the zombie genre as being tedious, as being uninteresting, and to be honest, guys, the zombie genre isn't what it used to be because of how it has become a part of our pop culture. Many games and movies nowadays are producing more and more zombie content. It's becoming quite stale, but deep down, I do love zombies and I do still enjoy the genre. All I have to say is, George A. Romero, thank you so much for producing these amazing zombie films. You are an absolute genius. Rest in peace, my brother. Rest in peace. And finally, at number 1, we have Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. I told you guys and gals I would get back to Yojimbo, and Yojimbo is without question my favorite movie from the 1960s. I have produced a review on Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. I'm going to add the link for that review down below in the description box. It was because of Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo, my love love for the samurai genre and my love for Japanese culture in general has increased greatly, and no one understands the samurai genre the way Akira Kurosawa does. The language spoken, their culture, their custom, their clothing, everything about Japanese culture is something I am so in awe of. During the 1960s, Akira Kurosawa has produced 2 samurai films with his favorite actor to work with and his muse, Toshiro Mifune. Toshiro Mifune plays the same character on both Yojimbo and Sanjuro, the sequel to Yojimbo. He plays this lone samurai warrior, the Ronin, who, just like the man with no name, wanders from place to place like the wind. In both Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo and the sequel Sanjuro, Sanjuro is a character who's grown over these 2 films. In the first movie, Yojimbo, it was his introduction as a character, as a person, a man who, despite being so angry, so bitter, and having a troubled past, does have a good heart. Whether or not Sanjuro admits it, he does have a good heart. We do get more character development for Sanjuro in the sequel Sanjuro, and we understand him more and more, and why he's so angry, why he's so bitter, and how one woman, one older lady, this older lady who is so kind, so sweet, and such a wise woman, she points out to Sanjuro that he does have a good heart, and whatever demon he's carrying deep down, he is like an unsheathed sword that can return back to its sheath. She basically nailed him, because that's exactly who Sanjuro is. He's a man who's gone through so much. Sanjuro at heart still is a samurai who follows the code known to many samurais. Sanjuro is such an iconic character in cinema. I love this character so much. Akira Kurosawa has produced many great films, many great masterpieces in his time, my favorite of which is actually Seven Samurai. Yojimbo does come in a close second. I love Seven Samurai, I love Yojimbo, I love Rashomon, and I can't wait to see Kagemusha and other movies produced by Akira Kurosawa. He's such a fantastic filmmaker and one of my all-time favorites. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and do check out the channels of both Emily Boone and Rachel Wagner. The links for their channels down below in the description box. And if you wish to see more from me, then please check out my gaming channel where I do Let's Play series, gaming content, all kind of good stuff. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios, amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.